Hey family, my name is Eliza Nette. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about how to glow up. This is for the emotional, spiritual aspects when we're talking about how to glow up and how to be your best self. This is my third time recording this video today. Third time's the charm, baby. Third time gotta be the charm today. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into the video. I'm going to start off this video by talking about just acknowledging that my journey was backwards. Like, I started with the physical aspects first instead of starting with the mental, emotional, spiritual aspects of how to glow up and how to be your best self. So I started off by losing weight, buying clothes, things like that. This time around, I'm trying to do things better. So I do have my handy dandy notes here, and on my note, the first thing that I said was watch the things that you say to yourself and about yourself. This is really, really important. I think anybody who has anxiety, or in general, anybody who has practices of negative self-talk, just go ahead and understand how much that really, really affects your confidence. So right now, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to do my best to say affirmations when I have negative self-talk. So right now I'm 5'8.5", 5'9". A lot of times when I go shopping, I'll be like, girl, I'm a giant, I can't wear that. I'm trying to, instead of saying, girl, I'm a giant, girl, I'm a model, I gotta do what's best for my physique. Or in general, just trying out new outfits that would have previously made me uncomfortable, but also keeping in mind that everything is not gonna look good on everybody. But those are some things that I'm doing. Like, if I'm going in a car, I'm not saying, girl, I can't drive, I drive crazy. I'm saying, I will have patience while I'm driving. I will pay attention while I'm driving. So the goal and the moral of the story is, when you start saying negative things about yourself and to yourself, instead of harping on that negative thing and making it a truth, I'm saying an affirmation that's in the right direction instead of the left. Like, I'm saying a positive thing instead of a negative thing. So right now I'm focusing on the things that I think. I'm trying to cut myself off mid-process and saying, instead of thinking this way, instead of thinking like say for example, you haven't always been the best friend in your life. I'm such a horrible friend. Instead of having those thoughts, you want to switch it up and say, I'm working on being the best friend. I'm working on being a great listener. And have those affirmations and those positive thoughts and just keep repeating it and saying it to yourself. Because I feel like the things that you say out of your mouth, you're listening to. The things that you say out of your mouth, you're listening to. The things that you say to other people, you're listening to. You're listening to yourself. So rule 1, we're going to think about the things that we think and try to flip it and say an affirmation. And we're also going to think about the things that we say to other people about ourselves and just in general. The second tip I have on here is practicing positive affirmations, which I feel like I've already talked about, but just to go in a little bit more detail, I do have an affirmations list that I say every morning. This is going from mental, physical, emotional, relationships. So I have affirmations about the type of relationships I want to have, the things I want to do better, money, finances. Like, my affirmations go deep. And I'm trying to keep track of my affirmations. So the next thing I have is my vision board. On my vision board, I have my goals and the things that I want for myself, whether it be educational, financial, work-related, in a relationship, in a home, in a mindset, in a process. On my vision board, like, for example, I have prayer on my vision board. So I have prayer hands over a Bible. It's just basically saying these are the things that I want to work on. And I have my vision board on my MacBook and on my phone screen. So I look at them every day and I can say, okay, girl, we're focusing on the things that we want to do better. So another tip I have is pay attention to what you consume. This is, this goes 3 ways. When I say pay attention to what you consume, I don't only mean food. I also mean media and friendships and relationships. Also, obviously, food. But when I'm going to start with friendships and relationships, I think that when you're somebody who's practicing negative self-talk, or you're not as confident as yourself as you could be, you really don't need anybody around you to affirm your thoughts and feelings about yourself. So if you have somebody around you that's giving you negative self-talk and that's making you feel more insecure and is saying things about you that shouldn't be said, I think the first step is to, like, because some people get comfortable in their ways and some people don't know their ways or their ways. So I'm not saying cut off every friend. We're not perfect. But step one, you said this to me the other day. That really hurt my feelings. And it got me thinking about things and it made me feel a little insecure. I really need you to watch the things that you say to me because they affect me and I value your opinion as a friend. If you can't do this, I might have to cut you off. Practice that. If that don't work, then you might actually have to cut the person off. But people have their own insecurities, their own toxicities, their own traumas and things that they're going through. And sometimes they can just be that person projected onto you, or like not even be purposely trying to do it. They just have a habit. Like, I'm not saying everybody who's ever said anything they shouldn't have said in their life is just a horrible person. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying point it out to your friend and allow them space to work on it. And if they cannot work on it, take a step back. Because I've definitely not always been the best friend in my life. And sometimes people didn't cut me off. Sometimes I didn't cut other people off. But now I'm in a space in my life where I try to breathe life into my friends and I try to pray for my friends. And I only keep people around who are willing to do the same things to me. And if they're not willing, they're willing to accept the constructive criticism that I give them. Like, hey sis, don't do me. Don't do it. So when I say consuming, watch what you're consuming. Watch what you're consuming in the sense of people, friends, relationships. Watch what you're consuming in the sense of media. I've been really focusing on what I'm consuming in the sense of media right now. So like, I've been using that block button on channels that I just don't want to be on, just because if you block the channel, it stops popping up. So I've been using that block button. I've been using that not interested, do not show me this channel. I've been using all of those features just because I don't want to be consuming too much. I was watching this podcast called the Dear Future Wifey podcast, and the lady on the podcast was basically saying that she watched so much soap operas and so much reality shows that she started to make her relationship a soap opera, and she started to add in bits of drama just because she felt like that's the way it should be, and that kept it spicy. Some of us be letting the media consume us so much so that it affects our relationships and our day-to-day lives, and we just have to like cut certain things off. Now, mind you, I'm not a real big TV watcher. I'm not going to say that I never gossip. I'm not saying that I never gossip. I'm not saying that I never ever watch a reality show. I'm saying that I'm limiting my consumption. That's what I'm saying. And things that I'm watching right now are like Think Media pages. How do you grow your YouTube channel? I listen to motivational videos in the morning and at night. My friends know I didn't block certain pages. You can't send me that no more, girl. I'm sorry. I'm just not consuming it right now. And also so I'm watching things that I feel like are uplifting me and learning me something. So like the Dear Future Wifey podcast, they talk about divorce, marriage, and singlehood and different types of relationships and things like that. So overall, I'm watching sermons right now and things like that. And this is not to say that I'm perfect, but it's just to say that I'm trying to do better. I am wrong in trying. I'm a work in progress. I actually have my project up on my YouTube channel, and it has like 5-6 songs. And honestly, in that space that I wrote that project, I was in a really, really dark time in my life mentally. Like, I was just not in a good space. And I was honestly in like this defeatist attitude. And I feel like people love that in music, but I had to sit back and acknowledge, like, damn, I don't only want to be making sad music. Like, I don't only want to be making sad things. And now, mind you, I had a song called Holy Power and Good Company, like a love song. So it wasn't fully like sad, but it was enough for me to notice like what I was doing. And then obviously the last thing is food consumption. So like what you put in your body really does affect your day. Like, like if you drink too much alcohol, you might be hungover. You might feel like you want to shit on yourself in the morning. Like, who knows, like, girl, what your vibe is. But what I'm saying is the food that you consume really does affect you. what I'm saying is the food that you consume really does affect you. So just keep that in mind. Like, it will affect your day. It will affect how you feel. Monitor what you're eating. And I'm not going to tell you what to eat because this is not a cooking video and this is not a health video, but watch you some videos and see what's going to make you drowsy. There are foods that make you drowsy. There are foods that make you stay awake. There are foods that contribute to anxiety. Girl, Google it. So, consumption. And then also I want to talk about stress. Some things that I jotted down that contribute to my stress that I've been monitoring and trying to change my thought process on is, the first thing I said is free yourself of your mistakes. The reason why I said that is because I feel like as a person who has anxiety, sometimes I harp on the things that I do or say wrong and the mistakes that I make. Sometimes I harp on just in general interactions with coworkers, friends, family, whatever. Sometimes I harp on, ooh, I said this wrong. I hope I didn't offend them. And sometimes I go back and apologize for stuff. And the person might be like, girl, that didn't even offend me. But in general, in my mind, it's on my mind. So the point that I'm trying to make is, free yourself of your mistakes. Only thing that you can do is acknowledge your thoughts, your feelings, apologize if you felt like you made somebody feel some type of way, apologize if somebody said that you made them feel some type of way, or just apologize. Only thing you can do is apologize, acknowledge the situation, learn from it, pray about it, move on. There's nothing else that you can do. You're not in control of anything else. Don't stress yourself out about the mistakes you make. I was listening to this sermon by Pastor Keon Henderson, and he said, some of us don't have enough presence to dissolve the past. Baby girl, don't live in the past. So another thing with affirmations, like I said, like maybe I haven't been the best friend in the past, just as an example. So maybe I said something to a friend that I shouldn't have said. For example, as an affirmation, when I'm thinking about it and I'm stressing about it, I might say, I will continue to listen to my friends. I will continue to speak life into my friends. I will continue to be positive with my friends. Just flip the negatives and start speaking to yourself and saying it to yourself. Now, that's an everyday work in progress. I don't think that your negative thoughts will just never happen, but in general, just catch them in the act and don't let them fester and create a home inside you. Another thing I want to say is I have this book. It's called the Mental Toughness Handbook by Damon Zaharides, I think. But basically, there's a section in the book where he says, we tend to hold on to things that have caused us emotional pain. Examples include mistakes that carried terrible consequences, perceived slights from others, and regrettable decisions from our past. I'm going to move forward a little bit. And he says, ultimately, after these things have served their purpose, you'll be able to move on, leaving them where they belong in the past. Baby, we trying to leave stuff in the past. But I love this book because reading over the book made me feel like, okay, there's somebody out there that has had the thoughts that I had. That's what it made me feel like. So pick up the book. I think it was like $10 or something like that. But yeah, you are not alone, girl. It's a lot of girl or boy or all family, whoever you is. There's a lot of people in the world that harp on mistakes that they've made and negative thoughts. Kill it while you can. Learn from it, pray about it, apologize, then kill it. The second thing I want to say, and this relates to me, this might not relate to anybody else, but if it does, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Free yourself of this superhero mentality. I literally at some point in my life was 17, 18, 19, 20, trying to give other people guidance and tell them the right direction. You are not a superhero. You are not a superhero. I am not a superhero. Only thing that I can do is try to give you the best advice possible and be available for you if you need a ear to listen to. But you're not a superhero. Live in the present moment. Only person that you can control is yourself. Only person you can work on is yourself. The only outcome that you control is your outcome by the decisions you make and the things that you do. So the point that I'm trying to make is, if you have kids one day and one of your kids end up killing somebody and the other kid got 5 baby mamas, baby, only thing that you can do is make their best decisions as a parent. But you are not going to be able to control what your child does. So what makes you think you can control a family member or a friend or other people? You are not in control of anybody but yourself. Start with the woman in the mirror. Start with working on yourself and being your best self. You don't even got your stuff together. You don't even got your life together. These are things I'm saying to myself. Like, you got to work on yourself and be your best self. You cannot do this to yourself. You cannot stress yourself out with somebody else's stuff. Because the only situation you can fix is your own, with the help of God. So, period. I'm heavily in a space where I'm just getting to a space where I feel comfortable doing things for myself and feel comfortable saying no and feel comfortable, like, with where I am. I remember there was this, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, so these are some things that I felt like have been really helpful to me. Just to recap, you're not a superhero. What I also say is I'm not interested in being a mother until I'm a mother. That's something I've been saying. I don't want to be a mother until I'm a mother. So free yourself of your mistakes. Free yourself of this superhero mentality. Get you a vision board. Write down your positive affirmations. Focus on the words that you say to yourself and about yourself. Focus on the things that you consume. I think that these will all help you contribute to your glow up and how to be a better person. So if this video helps you, like, comment, and subscribe. Jot down some advice in the comment section. For me, I'm not above advice. I'm looking for advice from the right people and the right things. So take that with a grain of salt. But jot down some advice that you have in the comment section. And thank you for your time. Have a nice day.